Thank you, Dean Fahmy. Your Excellencies, AUC faculty, graduates and undergraduates, family members and friends. It is certainly an honor to be at this event today where we celebrate not only the remarkable achievements of those graduating today, but also mark 10 years since the School of Global Affairs and Public Policy was established. I'd like to first start off by sharing with you advice that was given to me by a very wise person many years ago, and that has helped me as an undergraduate and graduate student. The advice was, always invest in your education and never underestimate the smallest piece of knowledge because it can be so powerful. Investing in education is for the obvious reasons. The more you invest in education, the more it helps you realize your goals and aspirations. But when it comes to the smallest piece of information, the more you learn or acquire even the smallest piece of knowledge, it not only can open doors for you, but it can open many opportunities you've never even dreamed of. And in this regard, I'd like to share with you a personal story. About 6 years ago, I was studying for the Egyptian Foreign Ministry exams to become a diplomat. And for those of you who don't know, the exams are some of the toughest you can come across because they not only they span over a wide range of subjects, and they are very, very competitive. And I remember as I was studying, there were these major topics, the obvious ones that could show up on any exam. And then there were the smaller, minor ones. It's not that they weren't important, but you wouldn't really expect them on exam because you were focusing on the major ones. And I decided at the last moment to read some minor articles, and I said, hey, it could be useful. And wouldn't you know, the day of the exam, two main questions were from those articles that I almost did not read. And I remember I was so shocked that I started laughing to the point that those supervising the exams thought I had an earpiece to cheat. But ever since that day, I realized the power of the smallest piece of information. And I learned never to underestimate even the smallest piece of knowledge. The advice I just shared with you was actually given to me by my father, and it is because of his wisdom that I'm able to stand before you today. And I was privileged to attend one of the best universities in Egypt and the region. And as I think back on all the knowledge that I gained during my undergraduate years, it not only developed my character, but it also laid the foundation for every step I took toward my career and taught me several lessons that passed well on to both my personal and professional lives. For example, I learned the significance in balancing studies with extracurricular activities. And it teaches you much about time management and multitasking. And I remember I received a D in my calculus exam when I first started to find that balance. And even though I felt like an epic failure at that moment, I never allowed it to happen again, especially not in my career, as I tried to do more in life than just work. I also learned that receiving an A without actually learning anything was nothing to be proud of. It was not only a waste of time, but a lost opportunity to add to your thought. As the years pass us by, we find ourselves constantly wondering where the minutes and hours have gone. And nothing is more unfortunate than knowing that there is much you could have done or learned, but didn't. Or worse, that it's too late to do what you've always wanted to do. So, seize every moment. Take that course that you've always wanted to, but didn't. Learn that language that you love so much and no one ever cares about. Find out more about that topic that interests you so much, but everyone seems to call you a nerd for. But essentially, follow your own path. And do not make the mistake of comparing your path to anyone else's, because our lives are not supposed to be carbon copied. And just as important, I learned here of the importance of being an active citizen in the community. After obtaining my bachelor's degree, I made a point to volunteer for 3 years with an NGO to teach public school girls essential social and economic skills to enhance their opportunities in life. And it was in that experience that I learned that some of the best things you can do is to give some of your time to the community and to others. And the greatest rewards are sometimes non-material, because they transform your thought and push you to set bigger goals in life as you connect to a higher reality. As you begin your careers or advance in them, please do not forget to give some of your time to the community and to others. Life just makes so much more sense and has greater meaning when you use your strengths to help and uplift others. I know that some of the best days of my life were spent in a classroom with sometimes more than 40 teenagers. And sometimes I wasn't sure who was the student and who was the teacher. What is most important to realize on this great day that marks a massive milestone in our lives is that knowledge is infinite, and you have to constantly search for ways to grow. Because life waits for no one, and injustice, it exists everywhere. And along the way, you might even come across people who will make you feel that all that you have achieved counts for nothing. And they may even close several doors before you that lead you to self-doubt and hopelessness. But whether you obtain your bachelor's today or your master's, know that it is through continuing to develop and invest yourself that doors will continue to open for you. Options will always be made available to those that seek knowledge and self-growth, leading to a meaningful presence in life. After obtaining my bachelor's degree in 2009, I thought then that accumulating professional experience was the only best way forward. But as the years went by and I started my master's here in Gap and interacted with several incredible professors and students, I came to see that a wholesome character is one that actually combines professional experience with academia. And so with much gratitude, I walk out of the doors of AUC a second time, proud of my choice to come back for a second degree. And after God, our parents, and every single person working day and night to make AUC what it is, special thanks go to each and every single professor within the school. To our professors, I say, you're a major factor in our presence here today. And in the short list of people who we aim to make proud of what we have achieved, I hope that today and the days that come, we make you proud too. Thank you.